or your air conditioning unit goes out in your house, if you were able to not care about that at all, and you just were like, all right, it'll work. I mean, we're just going to do it. Imagine the bliss walking through life with that kind of mindset.
We were calculating on the way here. The rental car is charging us at this point 75 cents a mile. And we're trying to calculate if it was cheaper.
We're trying to calculate?
I was trying to calculate. If it would be cheaper to drive the car to the airport and pay the 75 cents a mile, or drop it off here and get an Uber to the airport.
So what he was essentially doing was he was driving the rental car, and he said, Jack, can you find out how much the Uber is going to cost? And I kind of thought, well, it doesn't really matter because we're going to pay it. Right. And then he said, well, no, not necessarily. I look, the Uber's like, what was it? $30, $40?
Like $40.
Right. 30, 40 bucks. And then he said, well, now how many miles is it to the airport? And I said, okay, here we go. And so I found out it was like 30, 40 miles or something like that. And then I'm like, so it's like essentially the same price, probably. I don't know.
75 cents a mile versus about $1 a mile.
Yeah. And I said, like, Graham, I would rather just not be doing all of these calculations when we're, getting ready to, film the show. I'm kind of in the zone right now. I just don't want to be distracted by something like this. I'm like, it maybe is a difference of a few dollars. And he said, well, is your time that you're spending right now doing nothing worth more or less than a few dollars? He said that to me.
Well, and then so what I'm saying is that your retort is your mental well-being and peaceful quality of life also worth $2 or $3? Because
I just think of opportunity cost. If I'm at a red light, my time is worth $0. So if I could do a calculation that saves $3 at the time I'm at a red light, extrapolate that over every single red light that I hit while driving. Imagine that every time you get to a red light, you do a calculation.
But I think there needs
to save $3 for a time that you're just sitting at a red light.
But then you're never present. Like, you're always doing something rather than just kind of existing, which I think there's a lot of value in that. And I think as a friend, you tend to try to fill your time always, like minute by minute, with things. And I don't, if it works for you, it works for you, but I have a hard time believing it works. What do you think, Ed?
If that, it's a recreation at that point, right? If that is how you like to spend your time, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's no different than couponing